Well, it finally is Friday. We've been
Hmm.
talking about that all week.
I know it is here. I'm
Pretty
excited.
excited about it, got to
I am too.
say. Yeah,
I am too. Actually, I don't even know what's going on next. The Stardock is closed next week. I mean, we can still
really.
podcast or whatever days. Mostly
Hmm.
because I think there'll be at least news from whatever does or does not happen, and we'll figure that out.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So, yep,
Oh, anyway. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yep.
Yeah.
1 second.
Mm.
Sometimes a prompt shows up. I was trying to log in. It's like, whatever, whatever, whatever. Anyways, everybody's Xbox 360 got updated, but that's not the fun stuff.
Yeah.
I do like that Microsoft is getting rid of the blue screen of death, but the black screen of death.
Yep. It's the black screen of you just need to restart.
And it also does not have any references or logos of Microsoft in there as well.
Yeah. So this isn't really the problem per se. I feel like Windows blue screens are often very hardware specific, right? It's usually like a hardware thing.
Mm-hmm.
But like on the Samsung phone that I'm using right now, there's actually a feature you just check a box and it's like just reboot it every week or whatever schedule. Like it's actually better for these devices if they actually do reboot sometimes. Um, so I don't know. I think honestly, Windows is pretty damn reliable these days, isn't it? I mean, unless you have some weird stuff going on, it's usually pretty fine. So I don't think I don't know. I'm eagerly looking forward to seeing it.
No.
One thing I did do, by the way, I don't know if you ever looked at this, is this is sort of unrelated other than testing things that are coming soon. Um, sorry, I didn't mean to move that along, but I I was doing this before the show and then didn't finish it. So apparently, you could just go into the Xbox Insiders. You get the app, the Xbox Insiders app, and
Mm-hmm.
then you update the Xbox app, and then you can get your other PC game stores in the app now. So I'm kind of, I installed Epic Game Store and Steam, and I think I haven't updated. I haven't seen it yet. So I'm after we're done here, I'm going to go take a look at that. But this is very interesting. The whole Xbox on PC, as we're now calling it,
It is on PC.
hmm which will now have a beautiful black screen of death when your game does something terrible to your documents folder or whatever.
I will tell you, I can slightly empathize with Microsoft. So, in one of our products, it had a detection for if Explorer restarted twice inside of like a small amount of time, it unloaded the process and then put a prompt and says, "Hey, we've detected that Explorer might be unstable,"
Mm-hmm.
and whatever else. Well, we did that not because just the way the product worked, it wasn't a good experience for the user if Explorer kept starting over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what that turned into is that we were just getting blamed for Explorer restarting, and that's not what was happening. We were just listening for that Explorer.exe to restart, and then
This
like,
is
oh,
Microsoft's bane is the this kind of thing.
yeah.
But anyway, okay.
Anyway, so then we ended up taking that out and just doing it silently because it was causing more problems for us. Because
Yep.
then it was no, I
Yeah. What are you screwing
installing.
around with?
Yeah,
What are you doing?
yeah, exactly. So, anyways,
Mhm.
that's what happens when a security vendor screws something up, and then Microsoft gets all the blame.
Yeah. Yep. Although this was buried in all the non-news, it seemed like yesterday, but apparently Microsoft has reached an agreement with ESET and the other security vendors to move
Yep.
security stuff out of the kernel, right? They had that summit last, I don't know, September, October, or whatever it was. And if you go back and read the quotes, basically the guy from ESET, this is why I remember this, said, yeah, we're not doing this.
Mm.
It was, we rely on this. It's a competitive advantage. It's the way it's architected. I'm sorry, but this is how we're doing it. And now the story has changed completely. Like
Yeah.
McAfee's and Semantics or whoever's out there have all agreed they're going to, Microsoft's not dictating it. They're working with this group and they're going over the APIs. They want to make sure everyone gets the functionality that they require. And it seems like they're doing the right thing.
So
Which
here's how this goes off the rails. Well, there's a lot to unpack there, because one, people always default to antivirus and all that other stuff. The other part of that is anti-cheats for gaming, right? That is they also typically rely on kernel level
yeah.
functionality.
Well, so look, I'm with you. I'm from Microsoft's perspective. I think job one is like, let's secure the platform.
Oh yeah. No,
You know,
they're less concerned, but it will. Here's where this goes off the rails.
mm-hmm.
It's 3 years from now. Microsoft has implemented this new security model, and
Yeah,
then there's a
rampant
massive
cheating and
well, no, there's like a massive malware outbreak because these tools
well,
can no longer.
but I think the point is to do it in a kernel safe way. Like I
Sure.
like just literally outside of the kernel space. So I mean, we'll see. The security vendors all have whatever expertise in this area. I don't. I'm not honestly. I wasn't really thinking about that, but I the issue you just raised is, if the security vendors can do this, then so can the anti-cheat stuff. And by the way, Microsoft is now, as the owner of Activision Blizzard, one of the biggest users of this kind of technology. So it actually behooves them to figure that out too. So I'm I'm sure that will be addressed as well. Just in time for games to come to ARM, because it also doesn't support the
Mm.
anti-cheat stuff for some reason. I don't know.
Well, while you're supporting things, Swift is available or coming to Android. I guess I don't know if I would say I saw this one coming, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, there are unofficial ways to do some of that now,
Mm-hmm.
because it's open source, so anyone could kind of do it. But yeah, this is I'm trying to figure out like what the primary use case. I think it's going to be for developers who develop apps on both platforms, which is all developers, right? And that you'll be able to write some cross-platform code in Swift that will work back and forth. And Swift has really good interoperability with C and C++, which is kind of huge for the low-level stuff on Android, actually. Um, they're going to do the Java mapping and all that stuff. So it's like, there probably will be developers who create like new smaller apps at first, just in Swift, I guess. But I think the big deal is going to be cross-platform, right? And Google Kotlin, there is some, or it's in progress or whatever. There is something there for iOS as well, which is kind of a weird thing. But again, like developers are going to pick whatever platform, based on what they're targeting. And mobile's the tough one because it's kind of 50-50 in a way, right? Like, and you got to do both. So you could use Flutter or React or some kind of cross-platform thing, but native is better. So this would be, we'll see. I'm curious to see what comes out of this.
Mm-hmm.
There's a version for Windows. It's been around for 5 years. Let me name all the major apps that were written with it. All right. I hope you're still with me because I'm done. Although I guess Arc was written in Swift on Windows.
Yeah. Well,
the big thing is Swift UI though.
yeah.
And you're not going to get that anywhere else. That's Apple's thing. And I haven't dove too deeply into that, but I got to tell you, struggling as I am with WPF and the Windows App SDK right now,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like heaven, whereas like the Objective-C interface builder nonsense from the 90s and early 2000s, whatever, was just a nightmare of just out of date stupidity. Swift and Swift UI are just like modern and wonderful and type safe and functional. And, in Swift UI's case, declarative, right? In code to make UIs and stuff. Like it looks good to me. We don't have anything like that in the Microsoft space.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Anyways, we should go. It's Friday. I'm out of ideas. I got nothing.